everyone. Today I'm joined here with Clover the Grey Hamster on Instagram, and we're gonna do a Hammy Chatz interview. So off we go. So, how are you today anyway?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I'm good, yeah. To say I've been working all day, it's
Yeah, never fun.
right. One
But
thing I need to ask you is about your new hamster.
yes, my new hamster. Yeah, I love her so much. Well, you can see behind me, I've been doing a giveaway where people have to guess the name. But that ends. It would have ended by the time the video goes out, and you can see her name's Daisy. Um,
Oh,
and I got her from Bright Horizons, the rescue centre, and she's just amazing. She settled in so well. I was told she was going to be really shy, and she's not like really confident, but she's so much more confident than I thought she'd be. She's like, yeah, she's been out every day, and I wasn't expecting that. And the other day, she took a little piece of broccoli from my hand, and I nearly died. So, just going to try and build her up now and see if I can get her, I don't know, even more tame. I wasn't expecting to ever be able to hold her, but now that I've actually met her, I don't know if it might be possible. So,
most probably.
yeah,
That's who I've
very,
inquired with Bright Horizons for my
yeah,
rescue hammy. They're really
yeah, they were
helpful.
so great to work with. And I just think with all the rescues, what they do is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, it was so nice to be able to adopt her as well.
Well, I heard a lot about them being able to deliver, and with my driving anxiety, that's like perfect.
100%. Have you got your eye on any yet?
I've asked for a male Syrian, which is the opposite of Reggie, because Reggie's quite timid. So I want one that's like outgoing and cuddly, so I can have a taste
Yeah,
of both worlds.
100%. That's so fair. That's so fair.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I can help. I'm sure I saw one on there the other day actually that was really cute. That wasn't a dissimilar colouring to Clover, a male Syrian, but
I
yeah, I'm
saw
sure
one
they'll.
called Mickey, and it said that he liked to give kisses. I
Oh,
cried.
oh yeah. I would love that. I think when I first got a hamster in my head, I'd be like watching TV and they'd just be sitting still on my lap while I stroked them, and that hasn't really happened with my girls, but I
No,
wouldn't have it anyway. I
no,
don't think it
because
really does ever happen, does it? Or rarely?
very rarely. It's like eat all the Syrian. He just shits all over his owner. He,
Yes,
he goes to
yes,
bed with her, but shits.
yeah. I don't know if that's any better, is it really? It might be. He's very cute.
So, what about Clover?
Clover, yeah, I just love her to pieces. Yeah, they're already very different in, I think, about every way. I can't believe how different they look because Daisy's a Robo and Clover's a Syrian. So that's like the smallest and the biggest extremes.
Yeah.
And Daisy's like a quarter of her size. That's not even an exaggeration. Watching them together, I'm like, I can't believe how different they are. But yeah, Clover, I think from having read about female Syrian since she's very typical personality wise. She's like really sassy, always on the go, quite hard to please, but I think I'm getting there with her now.
Yeah.
But she's just amazing to watch. I just love watching her because I just never know what she's going to do next. Um, and yeah, she's wonderful. I can kind of pick her up. She's tame in that way. I can probably hold her for like 5 minutes, but she rarely stays still. She's like crawling up and down my arms and stuff. But that is lovely to be able to hold her. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's awesome.
I feel like Syrians are more handable because robos and dwarfs zoom.
I know. I can't believe how fast Daisy is. Like for something so tiny, like when she's on her little wheel, I can't even see her legs. She's running so fast. But yeah,
Oh, bless.
what they're going to do. At least with Clover, she is a little bit of a chunk, so I could, if she escaped, I feel like I'd back myself grabbing her.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
On to telling me about you.
So my name is Hannah. and I live kind of nearish to Southend Way in Essex. And during my day-to-day life, I'm a primary school teacher, and also a musician out of work. So I do some gigs and things, which is really good fun. Yeah, it's good, but more recently I've got well into Hamstergram, so I'm very much enjoying that as well. So yeah, lots of things going on.
What kind of gigs do you do?
So I do all sorts actually, but I play the cello and the piano, and I'm in a folk band and a Bowie band. So it's quite different, but I love them both. It's really good fun.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really fun. So yeah, it's like Hamstergram is something very different from what I have been doing before, but I'm really enjoying that as well.
Yeah, it's so great.
It is a lot of fun, isn't it? Very addictive, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. What made you get hammies in the first place?
So with Clover, it's a couple of different reasons really. So one of them is that I've just always loved animals, and as I mentioned, I'm a teacher, and 2 years in a row we hatched chicks at school. Which was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Actually seeing them come out of their shells, it's so cool. And I was the lucky one who got to take them home for the weekend both years, and it just reminded me how much I love having animals around. So this year I've had a little bit of a tough year, and then I had the chicks, and I just thought, you know what, I need a pet because this just makes life so much better. So that's what made me get Clover, and I haven't looked back. And then with Daisy, it was really strange actually, because I followed Bright Horizon and I just saw Daisy's advert, and I just fell in love with her. And I was kind of mulling for ages. I was like, no, I don't really have space for another hamster. Like, no, Clover's enough. Like, I don't know how much more enjoyment I get from having two. And I just couldn't like get her out of my head, and I kept checking, and I was like, oh, I hope she's been adopted, because then I don't know what it was about her, because there are so many cute hamsters on there that are more than deserving of a good home, but there was just something about her. So I was like, oh, I really hope someone else snaps her up so that I can stop thinking about this second hamster. And no one did, and in the end I inquired, and they said they hadn't had any inquiries about her at all. And I was like, you know what, life's too short, I'm going to go for it. So that was kind of about a month of me mulling. But in the end I thought, I'm clearly going to do it in the end, and I want as much time with her as I can, so I'm just going to do it.
It was just meant to be.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Absolutely fit.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully you'll spot a little one and have that same feeling of like, yeah, that's the one.
I hope so. Oh my god. So how did your care journey start, and how have you progressed? Well, I can see how you've progressed behind you.
Here's the progress. So I think, like a lot of people, it didn't start in a way that I'm necessarily proud of. So by the time I've only had Daisy 9 days, so I think she's started well. But with Clover, I got a cage that at the time I genuinely thought was huge. I was really like proud of myself. I was like, yes, I smashed it. I think it was about like 80 centimeters long, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but obviously not big enough, as we know. But yeah, when we built it, like it was so big that my sister could get in it. So I was like, yeah, this is definitely big enough for a hamster compared with a lot of what you see and like when I was growing up and stuff. And then I quite quickly realised it wasn't what she needed, partly because it didn't have anywhere near enough bedding, and obviously it was too small. So she was biting bars, like not straight away, but within a couple of weeks or a few weeks, she was biting bars in. And as as I was continuing to research, I realised I actually just hadn't quite got it right. So that's when I got an IKEA Detolf. But I also ended up changing to what you can see behind me, because after I'd done that, and that was really big, that's 163 centimeters long, so that's massive, but it's only 43 centimetres wide, and for that reason it's quite well known that Syrian girls actually aren't always very happy in there. But unfortunately that's something I didn't realise until I'd already done it. So I really just needed to research a bit more before I kept buying things. So third time lucky, this is what I've ended up with. I've got the bucket state, I think that's how you pronounce it. They're 100 by 50, so Daisy's in one of them and Clover's got two of them that I've joined together, so she's got 2 meters now, and that's my final offer. I feel like there's not a lot more I can do in terms of space for her, but obviously like all the enrichment and stuff in there as well, hopefully will keep her occupied.
I was just thinking, is that 2 together? Because I've always wondered if you could actually do that, and it looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, all I did was just took a panel out of each side of one of them and then masted them together. And it is a really nice space, and it means that I can have really deep bedding for like the whole of one of them. So it has worked really well, luckily.
What are your hamster's favourite treats?
So Clover just loves food, all food. So I feel like I could keep her happy in that way with anything. She loves broccoli and absolutely lives for flax, which I see quite a lot, like the sprays. I see a lot of hamsters that adore them too. I don't know what is in that stuff, but she can't get any. Baby hasn't actually touched hers, funnily enough, so she's clearly not so keen. I should probably take it out and give it to Clover. But yeah, Daisy loves mealworms, which actually Clover's not so keen on, so seems to be quite nicely spread out. And she's quite enjoyed pepper that I've given her so far, and she did eat the broccoli as well, but obviously I've only had her 9 days, so I feel like I need to get to know her a bit more and know what she likes there.
Oh wow, polar opposites.
Yeah, what about Reggie? What's his favourite one?
Oh my god, I think it's got to be sunflower seeds, and recently, do you know those Ella's Kitchen baby puffs you can get?
Nice. Yeah.
Strawberry and banana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think Chloe tried that actually. She didn't go in for it straight away, but I kind of squidged a bit into her cage and she did like it. But yeah, maybe I should give it another go with a different flavour.
You see, I bought them because I was going to get him some baby food, but they've all got like lemon in them.
Yes, yeah.
It's
Yeah, you've got to be so careful, haven't you?
I went through every single one on the shelf. Lemon, lemon, lemon.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh, those Ella's Kitchen things, they are expensive, but they're nice, aren't they, for them every now and then as a little treat.
Yeah. Top 3 hamster accounts.
That is a really hard one. And if it's all right with you, I'm going to be really cheeky and say 4, because I've actually got 4 partners.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've actually ever said the word partner out loud. But quite cute, isn't it? But all of my partners are amazing. They love their hamsters as much as I love mine. And your account, by the way, I love as well. Love looking at that. But yeah, so Eeyore the Syrian, who we've mentioned already in this, like cage is just goals, isn't it? It's so amazing. She's really awesome as a person as well. Well, all of these people are, which is partly why it's really nice to be partnered up with them. Barney the hamster, so she's got Barney and Ivy, and Ivy's actually, like, she looks really similar to Daisy. And it was partly looking at her account that I think made me want to robo, because they're just so cute. So cute. And then I've got Itty Bitty Bears is her handle, but she's got 5 hamsters. She's based over in the States, but again, just like such lovely ideas, and her hamsters are adorable and she's really lovely. And then my most recent partner is Chili the hamster. And Chili is just the cutest thing. I think the long-haired hamsters are just so adorable, aren't they? And Chili's got like really long hair on his bum. Quite cute. But again, like, lovely cage and great example of lovely care. So can learn a lot from all of them.
I think we've got the same partners.
Really? All the same?
Let me have a look. Let me have a look at mine.
I think definitely, I spotted we've definitely got at least two of them the
Yeah,
same.
I've got Eeyore and Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other ones I must have just spoken to. I thought,
Yeah. We've clearly both got great taste.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Pet peeve in the hamster community.
Oh, that is a good one. And I saw your interview with Tina, which I loved. I really enjoyed watching that. And my answer to this is going to be kind of similar to hers. But I think it's like most people are just so friendly and kind and just get great ideas. So I love being part of it. But there are some people that just don't talk very nicely to others, do they? And that's my pet peeve. I feel like it's absolutely fair to point things out, and sometimes you have to for the sake of the hamster. You see something and you think, oh gosh, like they might get ill, so it's definitely worth saying. But there are ways of saying things, and I must say I personally haven't experienced this, but I do see it a lot in the comments. And I was actually talking to a small business owner a couple of weeks ago. She was telling me she was feeling really demoralized because there was some person who on every single post she was posting was writing like something negative, but that person hadn't contacted them to say what their gripe was. And it seemed what it was some of their products weren't suitable for hamsters, but if that person had asked, they would have realized that like they're appealing to not just hamsters but other rodents and other small animals as well. So yeah, I just think sometimes people take it a bit far, don't they, and are just quick to be critical, maybe forgetting that there's a human behind every account, and most of us are on there wanting to do better and wanting to learn and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's my pet peeve.
It's like the thing that happened with Storm from Porridge Friends. That was disgusting.
Yes, yeah.
Like, even after they'd stopped commenting, just bullying her on their stories, it's
Yeah.
not good. You're meant to be adults.
Yeah. And did you see the thing on Fern, her page, where
Yeah.
she like so sadly lost a hamster and someone was telling her she wasn't upset enough? It's just why do people comment on these things? It's yeah. So it's not something I've ever experienced. Have you personally ever experienced anything like that?
Um, Not really. I have had some comments that are a bit patronising, but
Okay.
most of the bad comments come from people who think they know hamster care but they don't.
Mm,
Like last night, I think I put it on my story in the proper hamster care group on Facebook. I basically commented saying these tubes what go into cages, they're not safe. Your hamster can get stuck, suffocate,
yeah.
hurt itself, and I just got laughing reacts and people saying, "Oh, my hamster's always been fine."
Yeah.
I just want to pull
Yeah.
my hair out.
Yeah. Please listen.
But the thing with Fern, like, I know she'd already ordered him before this new hamster, but
Yeah.
see, my coping mechanism would be to get a new one straight away
Yeah.
because I just have that empty void in my heart.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not a replacement, is it? It's like
No.
something to almost distract you and bringing something happy in, a bit like I was saying with Clover earlier in the year, something happy in to try and lift your spirits. So
Yeah,
everyone
definitely.
does things differently, and no one has really a right to comment on whether your way is right or wrong, do they?
No, absolutely not. Top three hamster shops.
Yeah, that one was so hard. I love so many of the small businesses out there, and I've actually there's not one go to that I have for like phrase and that kind of thing that you buy a lot because I want to try all of them and support them all. So the ones that I've chosen are ones that do something a little bit different. Because but there are so many good ones out there. So I've got a hide from Honey Three Paws Hides.
Oh yeah.
The like lovely drawings or paint. I don't know how she quite does it, but Clover's got one. I'm going to have to get one for Daisy because they're just so beautifully done. So clever. I wish I'd thought of that business, to be honest, and could draw as well as she can.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely one of mine. A really new business that I've really enjoyed looking at some of their stuff. They do a little bit different things. Are called Ivy and Cleo Pet Supplies.
Oh yeah.
I actually recently joined up with them to do my little giveaway. And the thing that she gave for the giveaway is so cool. I think I might actually have to buy one myself. It's a spray holder, but it comes out in loads of directions. It looks a bit like a tree, and then you can kind of angle it the way that works for your particular cage. So that's really cool. She does all the sprays and the hides and that kind of thing as well, but there are just some things on there that are really different from what I've seen anywhere else, so I've enjoyed looking at their page. I know Tina mentioned it, but I was going to give a shout out to Pride Rock Blooms for their themed boxes, and I had an email earlier to say that my Harry Potter one had been dispatched, so I'm very excited about that. Did you manage to get one?
I didn't know.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not a
that's
Harry Potter fan, so I thought I'll wait till the next one.
no, that's so fair. I think she's doing a Halloween one. I saw on her stories the other day, so I'm sure that. Yeah, I haven't actually ever received anything from their shop so far, but that I just think the themed boxes are such a clever idea, and from all their little sneak peeks, I think it's going to be really good. And the last one was, I think you said 3, but I've done 4 again. Sorry. Little Gems Bakery. I don't know if you've ever got anything from there, but I wasn't able to go to the hamster fair, and I saw on there the little croissants that she'd done, and I had to get some. So when she just restocked them recently, I bought some, and Clover's very much enjoyed them. Just like so creative with the little treats.
Yeah. I've never got anything from there, but Reggie's birthday, definitely.
When's Reggie's birthday? Do you know?
It's sometime in April. I've got it on his pedigree sheet, so I'll just look back in April.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Clover's actually got the exact same birthday as my grandma, which I
Oh,
love. Feel like that was meant to be as well.
oh bless. What's your favourite thing to use in your enclosure?
So I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and link 3 things together that are kind of related. So the first thing is, and I know you've got a similar one to me, my ham cam. I absolutely love it. I kind of got it because I was spending a bit more time, like, of an evening out and about, and I was just thinking that, I hope she's okay, and I thought, I need a ham cam, then I can just check on her, make sure she is. But apart from the fact that you can check in, the other thing that I discovered is that she is so different, Clover, from, like, she's so different when I'm not there. So when I was there, she kind of barely went on her wheel. So her wheel was one of those tricksy, the one that you've got actually, but because of the way that my cage is set up, I was finding it a little bit wobbly, but I thought, like, she barely goes on it, so there's probably no point in getting her a new one. And then on hand cam, as soon as I'm not there, on it all night. On her wheel, I was like, why does she not do that when I'm there? She can use it's like a private activity. So my second thing was that I did invest in a Night Angel wheel, which I really love, and it's so quiet and stable. And then the other thing was a real bargain that I found in B&M quite recently that I'm using as a wheel stand / hide. And it's supposed to be like a little, I don't know, pot that you'd stack and put loads of things in. But if you turn it upside down, I don't know if you can quite see because it's plastic, but like it opens all the way here. and then it's massive, so I can fit the wheel on it. And because this wheel has like a cork bottom, it doesn't slide anywhere. And then they can also go underneath as a little hide. And that cost me £5. I just thought I'd show you because I thought it works really well.
Good thinking.
I was really chuffed. I mean, I have also seen recently that the ones that have like a bit of a smaller gap, they're obviously not suitable because a hamster could get stuck. But this one's got like a really massive gap in. Daisy actually sleeps under hers, so it was worth doing. But yeah, for a £5, it just keeps the wheel way more steady.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. It's cheaper than buying a night angel stand.
Yeah, 100%. A lot cheaper. So yeah, they're my 3 items, but all linked together in some way.
Yeah. What tips would you give to new hamster parents?
I think if someone hadn't got a hamster, my tips are probably more relevant for them. But my first tip, based on experience, would be to properly research before even thinking of getting a hamster, because it will save you so much money in the long run. The fact that I'm on my 3rd cage, if I'd actually, and I did feel like I had done some element of research, but if you take the time to properly look at the sizes of everything that you need, it saves so much money in the long run. Because I don't know about you, but when I was younger, like, hamster care was so different, and I have people come over all the time and say, like, oh my gosh, like, luckiest hamster in the world, I can't believe how big your cage is. And I like to think they're somewhat lucky, but obviously there are so many people that are offering the proper cage, and I kind of say, like, thank you, but this is actually, well, Daisy's one is like the minimum size that hamsters should actually have. So I think researching beforehand saves so much money in the long run, because you won't have to do everything 2 or 3 times. And the other tip I would give is to really look at the rescues as a place to get your hamster, because it's unbelievable how many hamsters need rescuing. And people also ask me, when I say I rescued Daisy, like, why do hamsters need rescuing, or where do they come from? And there are so many reasons. But if you want a young hamster, like you'd get in Pets at Home, or, you know, a breeder, you can find really young ones up for adoption, can't you? The ones that are like from accidental litters and stuff. So it's not necessarily that they're way older from a rescue if that's what you want, a young one, but it's the best place, in my opinion, now that I know more. And Clover was from a breeder, and I love her to pieces, but now that I know more, I think I'll always get them from rescues now.
And when in doubt, always ask a rescue about how your setup should be, because they know best.
Yeah, definitely. I've had so much good advice, and also actually from the foster mum for Daisy before I got her. She gave me so many good tips of things that Daisy specifically loves, and you wouldn't get that from a breeder, and definitely not from a pet shop. But I was able to make sure I had her favourite things in her cage, so it's more personal as well. So yeah, I definitely recommend that too.
I think there's just one more, which is, what's your favourite enclosure?
Is that in terms of other people's, or in terms of my own hamster?
Went wrong last time. Is in like actual bought or made enclosure.
Sure. So yeah, out of the ones that I've had, I do really like the bucket state ones. I would say for the price, slightly on the flimsy side. The panels are like acrylic, and they are a little bit wobbly, but
Shut up.
I know. I know. Someone, I can't think who it was now, someone bought one and it all collapsed in on them with all the weight of the bedding. So,
was that
but
Fern?
I can't remember who it was.
I think it might be Fern. It was the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really recently, yeah. But luckily, touch wood, I haven't had that just yet. And I think they look really nice. The girls seem happy in them, and I think the Dettol would have been really good for Daisy, for example. I think just for Clover, where she is so sassy, and demanding, I suppose, in some ways, as she should be. Didn't quite work out for her. So the Dettol was a really good enclosure as well. But I think the bucket state ones are my favourite of the ones that I've used. But I know a lot of people use the Paw Huts and love them. I actually just thought Clover would probably eat through that. With the wood, she is a little bit of a chewer.
They look really like neat and tidy as well with the stackables.
That does work really well. I do wonder if it would work quite so well if I didn't have the two and then the one, because I wouldn't be able to like open from the top. For this half, I have to only use like the front panel, which is fine. But if it was the whole cage, I think that would be quite hard to clean and stuff. So that would be my only thing. But it's working really well in the setup that I have. I would recommend them, but just take it with a pinch of salt. They're not like perfect glowing reviews. There are some.
Works for you.
Yeah, definitely. What's Reggie in?
He's in a Savic Plaza with Viking laser screens.
Oh yes.
So I could
They're
a bit higher.
100%. Yeah, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's a lot more hassle now cleaning him, but it's better for him with his bedding. Like, I used to take I used to take the top off and just clean it like that, but now I can't because the acrylic screens will just fall out. So I've got to break my neck getting in.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, that would be similar for me trying to get in on this side here where I can't open the lid, but they're worth it, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video today. This will be the last Hammy Chats unless I decide to do more in the future. Thanks a lot to Hannah for coming and speaking today, and we will see you later. Also, don't forget to follow Clover the Grey Hamster on Instagram. I'll link the account down below. Goodbye.